Hi, my name is Alexi Pukanikin, and we're balling today, tomorrow, most definitely yesterday. At what cost? Ladies and gentlemen, it's week 20. It's balling at what cost? The summer. Oh my God. The summer just might be here already. It's slow. It's like the one foot is already in, and then the other foot is still missing. And we're just waiting for the full thing, but we're there pretty much. The outside is green now, which is lovely, much brighter for much longer. And then with that being said, I've made some upgrades to my setup, which you will not see on this episode, but you will see next episode. More gear and stuff coming in throughout the week, and then all of it put together next week. The setup is going to be different. It's going to be much more higher quality. It's just fabulous. We've been making investments. I bought a freaking PC so we can edit more there. Ladies and gentlemen, I stuck a bunch of foam pieces, which I had cut out of a used mattress, and I kind of like double side taped them onto the wall that's like right here. And I don't really know how good the tape is. So if we get disrupted by one of these bad boys, then I apologize. I'm definitely trying to work my way around it. But balling at what cost? Week 20. My balls are hot because of the summer, and that's kind of how the UFC went down last weekend. All right, let's just talk real quick about what happened last weekend, so we could talk about what's coming up later. All right, we went to St. Louis for UFC, which is fantastic because anytime there's a fight night that isn't in the Apex, I almost consider it a numbered event, anyways, because I'm like the freaking UFC Apex type of UFC fan. Like that's what I was like. That's where I've seen a lot of the fights happen, right? Even the biggest fights back in like 2020 and shit. But now every time they have a fight night and it isn't in the Apex, it's honestly, I just treat it like a numbered event. It's live, because I like when I got really into UFC, it was kind of like UFC was only in the Apex, and then St. Louis as a crowd just freaking killed it. They need to do more of that. Dana already said after the event that no more Apexes, and that's what it's about, because you can pretty much still turn a bigger profit by doing those stadiums. At the end of the day, there might be a little bit more trouble, right? But I do think at the end of the day, it works out better for the UFC. More people just go and see it live, which is when you see UFC live, I'm sure it's 100 times much more different than watching it on the television. So good on St. Louis, good on the UFC for, finally making a slow transition back out of the UFC Apex era, and finally just throwing these events for all the fans that get to go watch anywhere they are, in the world. So in St. Louis, we had the St. Louis man himself, Joaquin Buckley, and he was originally not supposed to fight on this card. Originally, he wasn't a part of the card, but he is one of the more active fighters nowadays, and always active on social media, always trying to be of a little bit of influence, so what he did was, like 2 months ago ish, around that time, he started slowly calling out, like asking Dana just on social media, get me on St. Louis card. He wanted to headline the card, but anyways, after being persistent, which is persistency is always the key, Joaquin Buckley, he got the fight where he wanted to in his home crowd, and he got the win he wanted. He was the co-main event, and he went against a brother named, let's pull it out here, it's a tough one, Nursultan Ruziboev. This guy's from Uzbekistan, one of those fighters that has quite a lot of bouts under his belt. The record is a little bit different in terms of win-loss. It's a bit more tough when you have a lot of fights in general, but a little bit plus and minus. But Joaquin Buckley, he came in sharp, very, very sharp. You just look at the stats. He outstriked, and he got Buckley outstriked the Uzbekistan brother and got four takedowns as well. Bunch more significant strikes, and actually one knockdown for my boy Joaquin Buckley. So come on. Joaquin Buckley, before we get into it more, but he's just one of those active guys who's always interacting with the fans, and just overall, you just see his face, hear his name all the time. Even though he's ranked number 11 in the welterweight division. It's not like he's one of these top contender guys, but slowly but surely, with fights like this, if he gets 2 more impressive wins, then he's up there. He could possibly fight one of the bigger names at 170. All right, so up until that point, we got to see what happens. But going into the main event, we had my balls was hot, Derek Lewis, the Black Beast. It's insane. This guy is the blackest of all the beasts and the beastiest of all the beasts. But no, come on. It's just like, Joaquin Buckley and Derek Lewis, just brothers holding it down, man, in the UFC. Just not really causing too much drama ever. Or if it's drama, it's always good drama. It's, my balls was hot type of drama. He's okay type of drama. And Derek Lewis headlining again. The amount of times this guy's main event is crazy. But at the end of the day, the man deserves it. I don't know. There's no way around it. 23 knockouts under his belt, the most in UFC history. That's hard to beat, guys. And especially when at this point, he's proven that really at any point of the fight, he has the ability to knock you out. Any point. Because you have some fighters, they got knockout power, but it's like, because they rush in, they got really good, they're really strong. They kind of just get the knockout within the first 2 rounds, something like that, or the first round, right? One of those blitzy type of guys. But Derek Lewis, he can have any game plan really that he wants to, but the good old faithful and very, very trustful, that KO, that right hand, left hand, just both of them, KO ability. There goes one. Straight right hand, or not a straight right hand, but that right hand is the night hand. It goes night. And just how can you deny Derek Lewis at this point? He's still getting main events in these fight nights, still knocking the guy out after wrestling a little bit. He'll just fuck around. It's like, let me try to beat this guy in the other way. At this point, really, I think if he has like a pretty decent matchup, he could just go into it going like, all right, let's grapple a little bit, try to do a little bit damage. But then it's like, I feel like there's this like frustration meter with Derek Lewis too. It's just like, if he's like in the fight for long enough and he hasn't been that hurt and he doesn't feel like he's being that effective either, he kind of just goes like, all right, I guess I'll just knock him out then, bro. That's just how I guess. Bam! Touches you even a little bit. Lights out. Bam, bam, bam. Boom. Third round KO over Rodrigo Nascimento, and he was ranked 15 in the heavyweight division. So Derek Lewis is pretty much the closest thing to like a black superhero, like in real life. Like this is like what we all wish Kimbo Slice was. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Kimbo Slice actually had the KO ability of Derek Lewis in the UFC, then Kimbo Slice would probably be like one of the biggest names in sports history. But it's just unfortunate. Derek Lewis, he likes to stay a little bit under the radar. He doesn't like to make that much noise. He collects the check. He knocks motherfuckers out. Bam. All right. It's pretty simple and pretty goddamn. That's what freedom is. That really is what freedom is, guys. So my balls was hot. Derek Lewis, the Black Beast, another KO under his belt. No big deal. No big deal. No big deal. That was UFC St. Louis. Nothing going on this weekend, I think. And even if there is not too many big names, Barboza. Okay, Barboza's fighting there. But I feel like Barboza's gonna win. Adrian Yanez got to make the... Oh, yo, guys, I ain't gonna lie. Nah. UFC goated for sure. Nah. UFC on a generational run right now. So you saying you get Tabitha Ricci, Baby Shark, one of the most gorgeous, fittest women that we have in the UFC. She fights in St. Louis, gets the win. And then now this next upcoming UFC event, Fight Night, in the Apex, but it's okay. It takes time to make changes. Women's strawweight bout, we got number 9 ranked Luana Pinheiro. And I'm not going to... Another just gorgeous, talented woman that just kicks some motherfucking ass at the same time. There, you caught it live. There you go. Fucking, we're gonna keep on getting raided down by foam and shit. I gotta make a couple more changes, maybe stick more fucking tape on it. I don't know. Anyways, Luana Pinheiro. My God, she's a fine lady as well. She's got a little bit more blonde, a little bit more I think fighting style wise, she's a little bit more like how do I say it? She's a little bit more disciplined in a way. Tabitha Ricci, she's like high paced. She's very well conditioned. Luana, on the other hand, 11 wins, 2 losses. She likes to get the submission, man. She likes to grapple you out a little bit. If she can get the TKO, she'll get the TKO. But currently, coming off of a loss, she's only 4 fights into the UFC. She has the talent to keep on going for a while. She's 31 years old, judo. I can see her still being in the UFC for a while. So Luana Pinheiro, shout out to Luana Pinheiro. She is fabulous, and I hope she gets the win Saturday night. Adrian Yanez as well. Hope he gets the win because he suffered a tough loss, and I think he's one of the more talented strikers that's coming in the bantamweight division, which is insane because you already got Corey Sandhagen and freaking, Cheeto Vera, and then now the champs, Sean O'Malley. But Adrian Yanez, one of those brawling type of guys. If he keeps on winning, a dream matchup to see him against Cheeto Vera would be insane or something like that. So Adrian Yanez, hope you get the dub. And lastly, Edson Barboza, ranked number 11 in a featherweight. He's a legend. He's probably going to get the dub because Edson Barboza is undeniable and a lock every single day. But anyways, that was the UFC. Had to go on a little bit of tangent just to talk about Luana Pinheiro. But anyways, NBA playoffs is going on right now as well. And last weekend, we had a good amount of games of the second round. All right, so it's the semifinals of the conferences. Mavs versus I'm going to start off with Western Conference. Mavs versus Thunder. Mavericks are in the lead right now. 2-1 lead in the series. Except that 2-1, it's just like I genuinely think it's going to be like I said last week, I can see all of these series going into Game 7 genuinely, but this Mavs versus Thunders, it's going to be one of those where it's just like, truthfully, I don't know. It's almost like damage control. I don't want him to be like winning like Thunder or the Mavs. Like if they win the series, they gotta win it in a way where you're not putting everything on the line just for the semifinals. Like, you know what I'm saying? Of course, you gotta put it on the line if you want to win the series, but I almost feel like it's a little bit dangerous if because right now Luka is getting beat up. They're treating Luka right now like MJ versus the Pistons. Like they're trying to freaking chip him, just slowly chip away on his like fucking physical abilities, because Luka's just taking a beating, falling, you know, getting freaking fouled, all this stuff. Not even like blatant ones. I'm not firing shots at Thunder, but Luka's trying to, dude. Damn, bro. They're testing my boy, dude. They're really testing him, man. They're like, he's supposed to be scoring like 30 points per game. Right, but now they're really trying everything, man. And I guess that's just also the pacing of the games so far, and the refs and all the everything else. But nah, man, they're brutalizing him, man, and they're trying to physically drain him. And at the same time, that's what Luka is. He's just that fucking big of a savage, dude. He just doesn't care. It's all about winning. So Mavs, yes, they beat the Thunder for the game 3, but it was one of those barely. And to be honest, if the OKC team, they would have scored a little bit better, just made a couple more shots, I think it could be the Thunder leading 2-1 and going into home court next game. So I'm just saying, these boys got to take it easy in a way. They got to like figure out what's the easiest way to win, because if both of these teams, they just put their 100%, I feel like whoever they go against next, truthfully, is just like, that's it. Like if they go against Timberwolves versus Nuggets, like Thunder or the Mavs, if they go against Timberwolves or the Nuggets in the conference finals, I think it's going to be one of those like just 3-1 or fucking sweeps. Like I genuinely think that. So speaking of that, we go to the Timberwolves versus Nuggets series, tied at 2-2, 2 apiece, and it's just it's just the highest level of competition right here. I think with the Thunder and Mavs matchup, it's more just like how much can you take advantage of the other guy slipping up. But fucking Timberwolves versus Nuggets, I think is just who's better on the given day. Like, who's playing better? Like, who is just straight up raw playing better, making shots, playing better? Timberwolves and Nuggets, so far, if you look at it on paper, they've been pretty even. Like, no shit. They're tied at 2-2. But, oh my God. It's just, how do you freaking, like, first, Jokic is just already like a basketball mastermind. But then you have Jamal Murray there, who can like just any given time pop the fuck off. Like, who knows what kind of sloppy top he got before the game. All right. And it all depends on the sloppy top. If he got a great fucking soul-sucking got 9,000, Jamal Murray going to be scoring like 40 and then shooting like 60%. FG percentage. But then but then that's the thing, you turn it over to the Timberwolves. You got Naz Reid, you got Gobert. They're trying their best against Jokic. Two guys versus Jokic, right? They switch in between, and still they're having trouble with just guarding him, let alone Jokic. With his mastermind, he just dishes it out to someone else, and then now you're one guy's not guarded. Like it seriously feels like the Nuggets just have one of those like perfect basketball things. It's just like, in the 90s with Jordan and they just freaking had the triangle system or a triangle offense. It's the same thing. I feel like it's just like the same concept. They just got the best game plan. And it's pretty damn hard to combat it unless if I think that's the Timberwolves style. They just play hard. They just play hard. They play passionate. They play to win. And then, with Anthony Edwards, modern day MJ, it's also, you never know. You never know with Anthony Edwards. You don't know if he's just going to go bam, go crazy MJ mode, or if they're able to contain him to a certain extent. So I really do not know how to fucking... Yeah, I'll say up to Game 7 too, but I honestly think who wins the... Game 7 is 50-50. I don't even give a shit what home court it is, truthfully. I think it's just 50-50. Whoever plays better, bam. Whoever's better. I think it's going to be up to individual, performance. Either we go to Game 7, Anthony Edwards pops the fuck off, and then it's GG's. Or we go to Game 7, Jamal Murray or Jokic pops the fuck off, it's GG's. But either way, I mean, the West is just almost like it's too... I was watching... The games are almost too intense for me. That Game 3 of Thunder versus Mavs, it was just, stressful to watch, personally. But anyways, let's move on to the East. I have to admit, I haven't been following the East games as much. I'm sorry. It's just something about... I don't really care about the Celtics, even though I got a Bird jersey. I'm sorry. I only care about Larry Bird. And then the Cleveland Cavaliers, Donovan Mitchell, Strus, maybe. And I don't know. I feel like that's just also such a random matchup. So I'm just like, okay, you guys just figure it out yourself, may the best man win type of thing. So, this series is one of those where maybe might not go to Game 6. Maybe if Celtics win the Game 4 now, then I think it's a pretty much done deal. Maybe Game 6 type of win for the Celtics, but it's still, you never know. I genuinely think that Cavs have a great defense, which Celtics have a great offense, but it's now you're against a very, very, foolproof defense, Jared Allen, all those guys. So that's a hump to get over. Good luck for the Celtics. Good luck to the Cavs. And we move on to the Pacers versus Knicks. I was feeling great about the Knicks, and then I was tuning in for the Knicks versus Pacers game last night. And then, after the first half of the first quarter, I already gave up, because I was like, you know what, Knicks take this, then they're up 3-1, then they can take the series in Game 6, or, you know what I'm saying? But, no, we're going to Game 7 for this one, too. I'm sorry, the Pacers played phenomenal. I know the Knicks were saying, yeah, there's a bunch of players that were sitting out for their game, but Game 7, I'm telling you, this is still going to go to Game 7. It's a grueler. The Pacers were playing very well. I'd get it if it was those guys were all sitting out and then, Knicks maybe lost by 10, and only in the last quarter they kind of let go of the lead or whatever, or the close game. But nah, this was Pacers dominance. Pacers were playing phenomenally, and it didn't seem like Knicks were having just trouble making shots and fucking making up situations where they can make shots. It was a little bit chaotic on their end for that performance, Game 4 for performance, but it's all right. Extend all these series to Game 7. That's all I want. The more basketball, the better. The more competition, the better. All right. There we go. Road to the NBA Finals. That's how we're looking for the rest of the week in terms of the NBA picture. So let's move on to something where a little bit less, something's going to happen. We'll wonder what's going to happen. We're going to go, we're done with that. We're going to F1 again. Well, let's just get back to reality. All right. We're going to Imola. It's in Italy. Great. Last year, we didn't race in Imola, actually. because of the freaking flood. Right. So this year, they're finally back. Hopefully no floods this time. They took a bit of a break after Miami. Now they're back in Europe. If I really had to analyze this thing, and really look through all its statistics and through the analytics, I'd have to say that, Max Verstappen's winning this race. Sergio Perez P2. Red Bull 1-2. Let's just get back to reality. Lando Norris, we've been through that. Great. Everyone's still, I'm still not over it, right? But let's just get back to reality. All right, that was we were in Miami in this little fucking cocaine fairy tale land. Now let's just get back to Italy again, where it's it's just some classy red wine, all that regular bullshit, fucking bread, focaccia and shit. So we're back to reality. Imola GP, Max Verstappen. Is it going to be a regular day in the office for Max Verstappen? Yes, it is. Will it be a Red Bull 1-2? Yes, it is. Will I be watching the race anyways? Probably. So who the fuck gives a shit? Congratulations for Red Bull already. Yeah, congratulations. Just a little clap for you already. All right, moving on. New subjects. Current still. Very, very current. And I got to be reporting this shit because otherwise I'm faking the funk as a Finnish man. All right? Ice Hockey Championships. Give us another one. I'm ready for another one. I am so ready for another one. International Ice Hockey Federation. They're throwing it again every single year. I know, right? It's crazy. Football, it's every 4 years, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Nope. For ice hockey and like the international, like World Cup type of for the ice hockey. Yeah, it's every year. It's in Prague and Ostrava this year. And so far, how's my boy Finland doing? How's the motherland doing? Well, Finland lost 0-1 to Czech Republic in the shootouts, which was just like, okay, you can have it. Fine. And Czech, they're one of the tougher opponents. They're definitely not horrible because we matched up with the British, once considered a powerhouse of the world. Yeah, we 8-0'd them. We scored 8 on them, and they didn't score nothing on us. So, yeah, we are still decent. Maybe it's just the UK is that crap, but maybe we're that good. So 8-0 makes me feel really good, makes me feel confident. We're ranked 4th in our group, the Group A. And then if we go to the other side to Group B, then we are still like, if we were to be in Group B, we'd still be ranked second place because of the points we have currently. So thank you. Honestly, thank you to the British for just opening your butthole to us and letting us fuck you straight up the ass, straight up. Like, that's just how it went, not to mince any fucking words. So yeah, no, it's great. Everyone's playing against each other. It goes down within like 2 weeks, pretty much the whole thing. A little plus minus 2 weeks. Today at 4:20 later today, we're playing against Norway. That should be a fun matchup. And then actually, I was looking at this. We have pretty good matchups. So we have Norway, which I do think we're gonna win. Let's just say 3-1, calling it. And then what is this? Thursday, we go against Austria. Nothing against Austria, but I think we're better. Y'all got fucking mountains and shit. The fuck you... what the fuck are you gliding on ice for if you can glide on snow and shit? You know what I'm saying? And 18th, we have our toughest matchup. In my opinion, we go against Canada this Saturday, which I do think is the toughest matchup we got before like the qualifying rounds. And then we go against Denmark next Monday, and that's it. Oh no, we go against Switzerland one more time. So seriously, I do think these matchups are pretty not too intimidating. The only one is Canada. So honestly, I do think we can at least make it to the qualifying rounds. Let's see what kind of competition comes up ahead when we get to that point. But I feel pretty good. Read a little news article about the team, and yeah, sure, not one of our strongest teams, but hey, we can always make it work. And that's the beautiful thing too. Like, it's every year. So if we take a bad loss, okay, we get our head together, train up a little bit, and next year we go again. It's literally the chill. That's why I love ice hockey almost, like this champs. And every year it marks like the beginning of summer. Like once it's ended, bam, summer starts. So you really can't be pissed like, oh, Finland lost, but hey, at least summer's here. It's a win-win situation for us Finns. It's great. It's wholesome. It's fucking positive. Lastly, gridiron football. What? But Alexi, there hasn't been any NFL news recently. What are you on about? Well, this ain't about the fucking NFL. All right. Well, but it is still the beautiful ball of gridiron. The Helsinki Roosters, my local team, their regular season is starting this Thursday. They kick it off. It's the first week of the regular season. I'm a regular season ticket holder, not to flex on anybody there, but very, very excited. Going to be cheering them on throughout the summer. And I went to go see them have an open practice last week, and it was great. These guys definitely know how to play the sport, definitely have a lot of talent. These guys are physically, like, I'm comparing them to myself. I'm not comparing them to NFL players, but regular Joe like me, they're within the vicinity of my age. Those guys really, like, physically different level. I look up to those guys really, and like the beating they take too. Like, they have such a knowledge of how to recover their body, which is almost as important as, like the actual exercise part of it, like when you're playing the game. But shout out to those guys. Gonna be very excited, cheering them on through the whole season. Don't get cocky with this, because I swear we're gonna be, if you start talking shit, we're just gonna be like, Blue 15 said, How the fuck do you make rooster sound? That was retarded, by the way. Was that kind of right? Or did that just sound very autistic? I don't know. We gave it an attempt. Helsinki Roosters. No. Okay, let me not. Okay, at least I tried it here. Now I won't do that when I'm cheering the guys. I'll just be clapping and shit, Okay. All right, we got that out of the ways. Thursday, to kick off the season for Helsinki Roosters, they're going against the Vaasa Royals. Very exciting. They were number 4th last season. Let's see what goes down. Hopefully the weather is going to be prime, beautiful weather. And that's the whole thing too. Think about the fact that the regular season starts and goes throughout the summer here. Like in the NFL, you're always going to have to go through a game, even if you just follow your own team, where it's fucking horrendous weather. Most likely either it's like disgustingly hot, disgustingly cold, snow, rain, one of those, right? Here, the worst case scenario, rain. That's the worst case scenario. Just a little bit of rain. And we rarely get like rainstorms. So just during the summer. So bam, beautiful, catch a tan, catch a sweat, cheering those guys. Yeah, straight up. Like, I'm going to be cheering so hard. I'm going to be catching equal amount of sweat as those guys. Guys, it's week 20. Summer around the corner. I can't wait to see you guys next week, to get back to you. I'm excited. Everything's awesome. Currently, it's Monday. It's beautiful. I love Sundays, but it's Monday. It's beautiful. You're beautiful. Go out there and get after it. I will do the same too, I promise. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Alexi Pukanigan. This is Ballin' at What Cost. I'll see you next week. See you later.